G'day business owners, Joel here from Potentialise, and I wanted to take a few moments to tell you about the number one problem I see affecting businesses today and to show you how you can avoid this major terminal problem. Every single business you've seen or know of that has failed all have this one thing in common, and that is the ultimate cause of their failure was due to a lack of cash flow. That lack of cash flow stems from a condition I refer to as cash flow chaos. It's a condition that most small and medium businesses suffer from at some point in time, and many don't even know it, and that's why we see such a high rate of business failure. On the flip side, every successful business owner that you can think of has at some time in their business journey taken the time to understand and master their business cash flow. In fact, gaining mastery of cash flow was probably the turning point that set the foundation for business success. So acquiring this skill set, well, it isn't optional, and I want you to understand that right now. That this is mandatory stuff for any business owner to become proficient in. And the sooner you come to grips with that fact, well, then the sooner you can start to learn and master your cash flow, and the sooner you're going to start to see the results in business that you truly want. You probably already know that. But if you haven't taken the time to learn it, well, then maybe there's some sort of internal resistance holding you back. You know, you say to yourself, I'm not a financial expert. I leave that sort of stuff to the others. And I know my business intricately, but I'm not that great with the numbers and so on. Look, I totally get that. It's pretty normal, and most business owners feel that way because they're not financially trained. So what's this cash flow chaos, this insidious cancer that exists inside the majority of businesses that ultimately brings about their untimely demise? Well, it's simply this, the lack of a purposeful and consistent system of cash flow management that makes cash flow visible in a business. And the symptoms of cash flow chaos, well, they're many and varied, and it works itself out in different ways. For example, your business cash flow is variable and erratic most of the time. You never feel like there's quite enough cash available. It's either feast or famine. One day the bank balance looks healthy, the next you're scraping rock bottom. Or you simply don't know how to measure and control cash flow. You're often late to pay bills, sometimes critical ones like taxes, or maybe you're even late to pay payroll sometimes. Or there's times when you have to put personal funds into the business. You tend to spend money based on whether there's cash in the bank. Well, look, these are just some of the few of the symptoms of cash flow chaos. But actually fixing these things, well, is not as hard as maybe it seems. And I want you to ask, do you suspect or do you know that your business is in a state of cash flow chaos? If that's the case, then I totally know how it feels. You see, back early in my career, I worked in financial roles for a number of companies that when I joined, they were experiencing relatively large financial losses. Management were always stressed out, and that stress filtered down to everyone else. And I was frustrated because it seemed to me that people were somehow focusing on the wrong things. You know, they were looking at how to improve productivity, how to slash costs in the business, all good things in and of themselves. But the company financial reports, well, they were always late. People would celebrate last month's profit improvement, but now the cash position, well, it was worse. Things just didn't seem to add up. And at the time, I didn't know how to connect the dots. I knew all the accounting theory about cash flow, but that was a report that was done at the end of the year that told people what had happened in the past, but it didn't help them know what was going to happen. So from those earliest days, I've made it my own to understand what really makes business cash flow tick and to find a simple way for non-financial business owners to gain mastery of this number one critical aspect of business. You see, nobody likes to feel confused about cash flow. This causes stress and it doesn't allow them to achieve the things that they want to in their business. I've worked with so many business owners who've felt the same way because they're not trained financially and no one's ever taught them a simple way to understand and feel in control of their business cash flow. And what I've found is when you break cash flow down to its simplest components and you have a simple and consistent system to identify cash flow, to measure it, to make it visible in real time, this gives business owners much greater certainty and they feel way more confident about doing business and succeeding. So the solution for you as a business owner is to gain the knowledge that you need to understand your business cash flow. You need the right tools to help you maintain a simple but effective system, and you need a system that makes cash flow visible at all times. As a business owner, you need to be able to see your cash flow, not just the past history, but what the future looks like. And this is the key to achieving cash flow control. As a business coach and consultant, I've been working with business owners over many years to help them implement a simple system to manage their cash flow. This builds their confidence and ultimately helps them achieve other business goals because they no longer have to worry so much about their business cash position. In fact, often it's the key to them moving on to greater levels of business success. And I've developed this approach and this proven model over the last 30 years of working in financial roles and with small business owners. So I want to explain now some of the key aspects needed to escape cash flow chaos and take control of your business cash flow. Number one, you need to understand at a fundamental level what cash flow is. There's a heap of confusion on this point, and the reality is if you put 100 finance professionals in a room, you'd end up with about 20 different definitions of cash flow. At its simplest level, cash flow is simply the measurement of cash coming into and out of your business. Number two, you need to know how cash flow works, what drives cash flow in your business, and the dynamics of cash flow. And I like to refer to this as the components of cash flow. Now, there are up to 8 components of cash flow, and they all work together to collectively drive cash flow in your business. So you need to know and understand each of these components. Number three, you need to develop a short-term view of your business cash flow. This is essential to help you develop a feel for the pulse of your business cash flow. The more you become intimately acquainted with this pulse, then the more intuitively you can understand and anticipate your cash flow. One of the tools in the Visible Cash Flow system is the Cash Flow Clarity tool. This is what we use to help you get this short-term visibility of your cash flow. You can download the Cash Flow Clarity tool for free on this page just below this video. So I wanted to do a quick run through of how you can use this simple tool. If you take nothing else away from this presentation, then you can take this free tool, implement it, and start to get better control of your cash flow right now. So let's dive right in.
So let's take a look at the Cash Flow Clarity tool. If you haven't already downloaded it, you can do so for free just under this video, clicking on the button, enter your details, and get immediate access to the Cash Flow Clarity tool. So here's our Cash Flow Clarity tool. This is a model that helps us track our business cash flow on a daily basis over a weekly period. And you can see here I've already put in some figures. Here we can put in a starting balance for our bank account, and the model will help us track that balance and match it up to our bank over the coming week. We put in our starting date for the week, and the model will help us just track those daily dates. So you can see over here our first column and our starting point in the Cash Flow Clarity tool is to put in a weekly projection. This is what we think is going to happen with our cash flow for the week, how much money we think we will have come into the business and how much money we think will go out of the business in the form of payments, etc. So you can see I've already put some figures in here, and we're projecting from having a look at our recent trading history and what we know might be coming up in this coming week, that we've got cash receipts likely to be around 25,000, FPOS and credit card receipts around 5,000, and small payments coming in from our customers of, let's say, about $15,000. So all up, we're expecting with our weekly projection around 45,000 of cash to come into our business. On the other side, we've got cash payments or money going out, and we've got some recurring payments that we make from the business, and we think those will be about $2,000 for the week. We've also got wages that we pay weekly, and that's normally about $15,000. We'll pay some of our suppliers, and we're estimating about $4,000 for that. Our rent is due to be paid, $2,500, and we've got some tax payments to make, some payroll tax of $1,500 and some other taxes of $2,000. So all up, we're expecting cash payments or cash going out of our business of around $27,000, and for the week we should have a surplus of around 18,000, so net positive cash flow of around $18,000. So then each day what we do is we get our bank statement for the previous day and we just enter in what these amounts actually were. So when we look at that, we see that we had cash receipts yesterday on Monday, let's say, and they were $11,000, so a pretty good day. We only had $1,000 in FPOS or credit card receipts come in, and just $1,000 of payments in from our customers, 13,000 in total. So you can see here against our projected total cash receipts for the week of 45,000. Already by Monday we've got 13,000 in, and the cash flow clarity tool is telling us we've got 32,000 to go. So we know exactly what we need and how much we need to come in over the next 4 days. On the other side of the coin, with our payments, our cash payments or money going out, let's say we had $1,000 in those recurring payments. We've paid our wages on Monday and they actually came out a little bit higher than expected, $15,800. We've paid $1,000 to those suppliers and we paid our $1,500 in payroll tax and no other payments. So you can see there on Monday we actually had $19,300 in cash payments going out of the business, but only $13,000 in cash receipts coming in. So therefore we actually had a negative cash flow of $6,300 for that particular day. And again, our cash flow clarity tool tells us what we need to make up over the remaining 4 days of the week. So we can use this tool to track our cash flow on a daily basis, and we can start to see whether we're going to do better than we thought with our weekly projection, or if things are looking worse, we can actually know straight away whether we need to take some action, maybe chase up some additional money coming in or delay some of our payments to make sure that we don't blow our cash position for this week. And you can see here that with that negative position, our starting balance was 10,000. We had negative 6,300. Our bank balance should now say that we've only got 3,700 left in the bank. And hopefully if our week comes to fruition and we achieve our net cash flow of plus 18 by the end of the week, our bank balance should look a lot healthier. So that's the cash flow clarity tool.
Well, we've got a couple more key aspects to touch on, so let's get back to the presentation. Number 4, you need to develop a longer term view of your cash flow. This is so critical because it helps you see into the future. Knowing what happened in the past with your cash flow, well, that's interesting, but what you really need is to be able to chart your business cash flow far enough into the future and track and respond to it in a dynamic way so that you always maintain control and you can navigate around and avoid any cash flow crunch points well before they ever appear. And finally, number 5, you need a simple system that helps you implement and consistently maintain high visibility of your business cash flow. Who wants to spend hours and hours on technical financial stuff just to find it doesn't really tell them what they need to know? Simplicity is the key, and the reality is you don't need a finance degree or an MBA. You just need to know how cash flow works and have an effective, visible system to manage it. So the solution to covering all these aspects is to get a visible cash flow system. Now, I go into depth on all these facets in the Visible Cash Flow course to help you establish the visible cash flow system you need and become masterful at managing your business cash flow so that you can finally achieve cash flow control. As I said earlier, acquiring this skill set, it isn't optional. This really is mandatory stuff for any business owner to become proficient in. And like I said, the sooner you come to grips with that fact, well, then the sooner you can start to learn and master cash flow, and the sooner you're going to start to see the results in business you truly want. So if you think this is for you, what do you get with the Visible Cash Flow course? Well, you'll get instant access to the course hosted on a professional learning platform. You see, I wanted to ensure consistency of delivery in a tried and tested format, so you can access the course anytime and have reliability of access over the long term. The course consists of 28 modules spread over 7 days. This is so that you can easily digest new information and consolidate and apply your learning. You can complete them faster if you like, or you can take longer if you need to. There's just 4 videos per day along with module transcripts and downloadable tools, so you can take the time you need and view the course content in whatever format suits you best. You get lifetime access to the course and all the materials are downloadable. Visible Cashflow is available via the cloud learning platform or downloaded to your desktop or mobile, so you can have lifetime access to the course in whatever way is most convenient. You get simple cash flow tools that anyone can easily implement. The core tools of the Visible Cashflow system are Excel based, so that anyone can implement Visible Cashflow without the need for additional software. You can access Excel or Google Sheets online for free, or for most businesses they already have and use these tools on a daily basis. There's an online student forum. You can post questions and get answers via the online student forum, so there's always help when you need it and you'll never feel alone in your quest to achieve cash flow control. Visible Cashflow gives you as the business owner a comprehensive view of business cash flow, a new ability to see into the future and shape your business cash flow, and an ability to respond to any unknown cash concerns that come up. You'll have much greater confidence to run your business with certainty and be able to work more confidently to achieve your business outcomes. So you're probably wondering what sort of outcomes business owners get from implementing the Visible Cashflow system. Let's consider one example of a client who has seen some substantial improvements in their cash position over the last couple of years. This is a trade services business operating in a highly competitive market. There's seasonality and a big capital investment and lots of risk. There are multiple business owners who all pay themselves a substantial market-based salary. When I started working with this client a few years ago, they had many of the classic signs of cash flow chaos. Their cash flow was poor and they didn't really know how to fix it. Fast forward to now, and after consistent implementation of the Visible Cashflow system, in this last year alone, the business generated over $932,000 in operating cash flow and achieved a 240% increase on the previous year. Visible Cashflow has helped the business owners anticipate threats to their business, and now they can make decisions based on a knowledge of their cash flow and how these decisions might affect their business cash position, either positively or negatively, and of course, work to avoid the negatives. So right now, you can get the Visible Cashflow course and learn and implement this powerful system for yourself at greatly reduced pricing. There's 2 options available for you to purchase the course depending on what you need. Option 1, purchase the Visible Cashflow course for $297 and get all the knowledge, tools and guidance you need to implement the Visible Cashflow system for yourself and take back control of your business cash flow in as little as 7 days. Now, this is a ridiculously low price, but I know how powerful this simple system is and how helpful it is for business owners to master their cash flow without feeling like they need to be some sort of financial guru. So I wanted to do my part to help as many business owners across the globe avoid the financial ruin that comes with cash flow chaos. And I want to make the Visible Cashflow system and this teaching available to as many business owners as possible without the cost of the program being any sort of barrier. Option 2, you can purchase the Visible Cashflow course with 4 one-on-one coaching and implementation sessions for $997. I'll work with you to help you review your current cash position, implement and understand the Visible Cashflow system in your business, and I'll provide some follow-up and accountability to make sure you firmly establish your new cash flow habits and stay on track. With option 2, you'll effectively get the Visible Cashflow course for free and receive the 4 one-on-one sessions at a massive 50% savings on the normal cost of one-on-one implementation sessions, which customers generally pay over $2,000 per month to receive. Remember, option 2 purchasers have a limited opportunity to secure the one-on-one assistance with gaining cash flow control in their business because I'm only able to work with a limited number of people at any one time. Therefore, I can't guarantee that option 2 will be available all the time, and anyone who wants this help should act soon, as I'll only take people on a first come, first served basis. Now, either way, whether you take option 1 or option 2, the pricing offered is minimal, and you can easily recoup the cost of implementing the visible cash flow system because it'll help you find hidden cash in your business, and you're also going to have greater confidence and knowledge to manage cash flow and not continue inadvertently losing money through poor decisions and lack of attention to cash flow. Add to that the fact that the course can usually be treated as a business expense and therefore for most business owners should be tax deductible. Having said that, it's still important that you act now to secure your place in the Visible Cash Flow course, as I can't guarantee the price for the course will remain at $297 forever. With option 2, there's also that limit to the number of people I can help one-on-one at any given time, so the $997 option, including that one-on-one help, could be suspended at least temporarily when places are full and you might need to go on a waiting list before you can access that option again. The Visible Cash Flow course comes with a 14-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If the course doesn't help you gain a better knowledge of cash flow and help you implement the cash flow clarity and control that you need in your business, then we'll simply give you your money back. So if you're ready to take control of your business cash flow, you can do so by getting the Visible Cash Flow course. It's going to provide everything you need to achieve cash flow control fast. Choose either option 1 to get just the Visible Cash Flow course, or option 2 if you want the one-on-one coaching and help to implement the Visible Cash Flow system in your business. When you click the buttons below, you'll be taken to a pop-up screen for our online learning platform, and where you'll be asked to set up an account by entering just some basic details. And once you've done that, you'll be taken through the checkout process, where you just need to simply enter your credit card payment details to complete your purchase for a one-off amount, depending on whether you choose option 1 or option 2. Then you'll receive instant access and you can start your journey to cash flow control, less stress and greater business success. So make the move to cash flow mastery and control today. Thanks so much for joining me in this presentation. Bye for now.